Hello, my name is Floss. This is the Grape Jelly Library where we love to talk about books. I am so glad you could join me. I always look forward to your visit. The book we are going to be talking about today is My Name is Barbra. Notice how I said that, not Barbara. Barbra. That is not her name. That is the name she changed it to. She was legitimately Barbara Streisand, but to come up with a fictitious name just didn't feel right to her. But to leave out a letter felt more authentic, so she changed it to Barbra. This book is 970 pages long. Yes. I bought this back in November, the day it came out, November 7th. I took my sweet time reading it. Years ago, I read another book of hers by a different author. The book, I believe, was called Hello, Gorgeous. William J. Mann penned that one. And I am telling you, it was definitely a book that I wish never ended. I couldn't get enough of it. I was fascinated with it. I should say, you don't have to be a Barbra Streisand fan to read this book, to appreciate this book. Of course, if you despise her, yes, I don't recommend picking the book up. I am not a Barbra Streisand fan. In the beginning, I was like, "Oh my God!" Like I was on a toboggan going down a hill. Whee! Oh, what fun this will be! All right. Somewhere near the end, I was feeling a little verklempt. Did I say that right? I was like, "Okay, Barbara, we don't need to know every single breath you took." But I'm going to say, for those of you who are diehard Barbra Streisand fans, it will be a absolute treasure to you. By the way, was this a wonderful book? Absolutely. Absolutely. It was lovely to know that Barbara thinks just like we do. She couldn't afford a place of her own. Her father passed away just slightly after her first birthday, I believe. Um, and it's that mother daughter dynamic that some of us, harbor. The mother harbored jealousy, so she did not encourage her daughter's talents and did not necessarily want to see her daughter succeed. But it didn't stop Barbara. So you go, Barbara. Um, Barbara was outspoken, and for that, she was viewed in certain mirrors. But she made certain to stay true to herself, and sometimes she gave in, and sometimes she was adamant about, no, I really think it should be this way. And, sometimes, most times, it the pendulum swung in her direction. She was right. And I love that. I adore that you're willing to give in and see if somebody else's way is the way, or if you're adamant about your own belief. It's a give and take. Barbara was very much about give and take. She was willing to sacrifice, but she was steadfast when she believed it really needed to be a certain way. So I don't know if you're familiar with Barbra Streisand, you youngins, or not, but if you're like me and you kind of pull strength and wisdom from others, because maybe sometimes we haven't experienced certain things in our life, or we're yet to experience them, others have. That's what I love about a memoir. When I find myself in a similar situation, maybe it's a disheartening situation, a less desirable situation, and then I can conjure up in my mind all of the memoirs. I think I'm the memoir queen. all of the memoirs that I have read and instantaneously tap into a certain individual and then draw my inner strength, but then draw strength from them as well, which gives me like a superpower, and I'm able to see situations through. That's what I love about a memoir. We're all people. We're all people on this earth trying to do our thing. Sometimes things are a little hard, and sometimes things are very hard. How are we going to get through this? That's what I love about a memoir. Um, if we haven't done it yet, somebody else has, and we can pull strength via them. That's what I love. So, does that make any sense? I'm sure that it does. Barbra, she's just like one of us. She's not above her raisin. Not. She moved into an apartment that was teeny tiny above a fish market, and she didn't even have a kitchen table. So she had to put a plank of wood over the bathtub just to have an area to food prep, to chop and prep her food that she was going to cook. And then use that as her eating area where she would sit and eat her dinner. And she didn't complain and she didn't say, woe is me. She rolled with the punches. And although now she can afford the finest wardrobe and paintings and the most elaborate antiques, she is still a people person. She really is. Um, she has not forgot where she came from. I love that. She's one of the handful of people who are a member of the EGOT Society, and that is a person who has won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. Go Barbra. She has had relations or interactions with people such as Don Johnson, King Charles, Princess Diana, Marlon Brando, Chris Christopherson, James Brolin. There's so many people, I couldn't possibly name them all. Very interesting book. She does not leave one single page unturned. Ha! I was able to see it through. I did enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie. I did enjoy it. I give it 5 stars. I do. Um, the only reason I would give it 4 is because I'm not a fan, and it was just entirely TMI, too much information. But being that I respect Barbra and I enjoyed the story of her life, yeah, I most definitely come out of it giving it a 5. If you're on the fence whether you should read it or not, but you love memoirs, then I would say yes, you should read it. It's so fun to listen to spilt tea, especially by the person who has, you know, created the concoction, who is actually doing the spilling of the tea. Can bend the truth a little bit, but I don't believe Barbra was bending any truth. I believe that she was totally honest with everything. This was a fabulous book. You should read it. If, you know, like I said, you don't have to be a fan. I'm not a fan. I can appreciate some of her songs. Love the song Evergreen. Love her duets with Barry Gibb. And I think she did with Bryan Adams and Celine Dion. And oh, my girl, Donna Summer. Love, 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 love Donna Summer. Therefore, you know, I don't know. It's just fun music. The video she did with Roger Daltrey. Now, I'm not a Who fan, but you know, that was cute. That was a cute video. So she does have definitely a body of work that, you know, should be tapped into. It's fun to step back in time and reminisce. Um, I just loved that she did her own thing. And she was her own person. And she had her own way of thinking, her own way of doing things, her own beliefs. I'm not on board with her viewing her take on politics. I'm not one to bash anybody. We all have a right to our opinion. We all have a right to believe what we want to believe and do what we want to do and support who we want to support. And I am never one to try and provoke or brainwash anyone into a certain way of thinking. I'm more about the respect of it. So I don't want to bash somebody because you know what? Nobody's perfect. And nobody has the right to do that. We should all work on ourselves before we try and fix other people. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that I'm one way or another in the political realm. I'm just saying that I'm not one to have anything be forced down my throat. I'm a grown woman. I could do my own thinking. Whether I'm agreeing with you or not, allow me to do my own thinking. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel about that. We should never bash one another. We should try and see the other side of the coin and relate. And whether we agree or not, we'll agree to disagree and then move on. Do you know what I'm saying? So there's that. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But anyways, other than them long chapters, I think it's a wonderful book. It's a wonderful story. It's a very honest story. And I liked it. I have to say I did. And if you choose to read this, I would say, and you're not a fan, don't go, don't go full bore. Take your time like I did. I've been reading it since November. It's now January. Take your time. Do your thing. There's no set amount of time that you have to have a book read by. I am very much into the old scene. The Dean Martin. I love the fun, frolicky atmosphere of times gone by. The Dean Martin show, loved that. So I loved the Carol Burnett show. I loved that moment in time where maybe because I was a child, things were a little bit more innocent than they seem today, or I just didn't care about certain things, or just was too naive. But as an adult, as I look back, yeah, I loved all of that. It's super fun. Joker's Wild, the Liberace show, I don't know, Sonny and Cher, Comedy Hour, things like that. That's fun to me, and to go back to a more innocent time where, people were lighthearted and knew how to have fun and tell a joke and, just be a little more accepting than we are today. That kind of thing. That's what I'm saying. But it's a great book. And I do give it 5 stars. I'm coming out giving this 5 stars. This video was a little bit longer than I wanted it to be. But it is what it is. Until my next video, know that I love you. Be well, be good, be reading, and may all your dreams come true.